For boutique hotel and property owners, managing the complex guest journey and experience can be a handful. From booking engines to guest check-in and all of that vital data collection, not only can this process add a lot of work to your staff with manual data entry, but it has a significant and direct effect on the guest experience as a whole. But what if operators could combine these processes with a single customer-focused solution? Pack your bags and grab your passports, everyone. That's exactly what we'll be talking about on this episode of Anyline, Anytime. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Anyline, Anytime. So great to see all of you with me today. My name is Mark Babin, your host. It's a pleasure to have you from wherever in the world you may be. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. If you caught any of our previous episodes on hospitality and travel, you'll know that the present moment is business critical as the industry bounces back from an unprecedented year. But there is hope and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's exactly what we'll be talking about today and sharing more information with you. Joining me for this discussion, I'm honored to have a longtime partner to Anyline, Romain Longueville, the business development manager at Sweet Inn, a travel tech company that was founded in 2014. Operating in major cities around the world and with a unique vision for the future, Sweet Inn is quickly becoming the leading brand in the smart travel category, bringing the entire guest experience together through innovation and mobile technology, two of our very favorite things. Romain, thank you so much for jumping on this podcast. Great to see you again. I can't wait to pick your brain a little bit on this subject, subject that's close to me as a former hotelier. But thanks so much for jumping on this episode.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the lovely intro about Sweet Inn. Very excited to talk about this topic with you. Me as well as a hotelier and tech enthusiast. Sure, we'll have plenty of things to discuss today.
Yeah, very much looking forward to the discussion. And I think I want to start really by looking right at this Sweet Inn story. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's an incredible story, and I know the audience will take a lot away from it, but the transition that your team has made the past year during what is undoubtedly one of the toughest years in recent history, certainly that I can remember, and hopefully as well for many out there. But it really not only shows the transformation that you made and the strength of it, but it really shines a light on the importance of embracing new technologies and being proactive when it comes to embracing these technologies, which I think is a huge point and something we'll touch on throughout today's discussion. But before we get there, I want to rewind the tape just a little bit and look pre-COVID, because obviously Sweet Inn was established, you were growing. Can you paint that picture of Sweet Inn prior to 2020?
Yeah, sure. So as you say, Sweet Inn was founded in 2014 by Paul Benenou, a French-Israeli entrepreneur who had the vision to revolutionize the way people travel. The original vision was to combine the best of both worlds, hotels and vacation rentals. This means to keep the coziness, intimacy, and kind of uniqueness of a home with the services and the kind of certainty of a hotel. So we started in Jerusalem and Paris and continue to grow in European capital cities. Along the way, we've been able to raise funds from great investors, venture capitals, and other funds who were thrilled about the mission and the journey that we pictured. And all of this allowed us to build our own technology that supported our scale up and supported a rational, I would say, rational operation management, but also to focus a lot, and you highlighted this, to focus a lot on the guest experience, which is, and as hotelier, which has always been our passion. And today, with the great tech stack that we've developed, it's now all possible.
Yeah, absolutely. It really sounds like you guys took the time and really established that really strong base, that strong core that kind of future-proofed you going into the unknown, essentially. But looking at 2020, how did that guide the incredible transformation that took place the year following, basically to where you brought us, but bringing us to right now?
Sure. So, obviously 2020 was a challenging year, to say the least. we had to adapt our models and way of thinking in order to, the goal was to exit the crisis even stronger than we were back in 2019. Before that, for a long period of time, we've always planned to allowing partners to use our technology in a white label model, and the crisis eventually was a good opportunity for us to double down on that direction. And that was a kind of genesis of SIBO as the all-in-one solution for rental operators. So what is SIBO? It covers everything you can expect from a leading PMS, but because it originates from Sweet Inn and we have this field experience, it accounts for all the small details that only an operator with this experience will be able to grasp. So we started at the middle of 2020 to offer SIBO to selected operators who share our passion and can benefit from the technology that enables Sweet Inn to get to where it is today. But the vision that we have is not to become another generic vacation rental PMS. There are plenty out there, but we took the decision to only take on board the most ambitious operators who will be tomorrow's superstars, if you know what I mean. So we provide them with our full PMS booking website, and of course, we will talk about this later, but our guest mobile app, and all this package under a white label. So it means it's completely customizable, completely adapted to the brands, and to, again, double down on our vision and on this project. We also offer a lot of consulting and advices from our teams of experts. Again, we are all coming from the industry. We know exactly what are the challenges that our partners are facing, and we're able to give advices on pricing strategy, share real estate opportunities, help them sharpening their business model, anything that is relevant. The final goal is for SIBO to be the greatest network of operators through our technology.
I really love that. It's like innovators supporting innovators, because you want to deal with the people that kind of have absolutely that same proactive mind. I absolutely love that. So you mentioned something that I'd love to circle back to if we could. And I know hoteliers listening will certainly echo this, but the industry as a whole, with all of the complexity and the layers, the processes, the moving bits all over the place, it's all built around the guest experience. That's what the industry is about. So whatever's kind of happening in the background, that guest experience is always and should always be at the foreground, that end-to-end journey, like we're kind of talking about, from booking to departure, making it as seamless as possible. And again, that's kind of the core of everything we're going to discuss, and the industry has been about since day one. But the truth is, and again, I know this from personal experience, and I know those listening will relate, that the traditional processes that are still in place in a large majority of the properties, while they may have been efficient at one point in time, when we compare them to other industries, it's almost like we've gone back a decade or a century. It's like it's really taking a big step back with these traditional processes that we see in hotels now, even still. So what drove you and your team at Sweet Inn to take a little bit of a different approach to really build itself around that core guest experience using technology to get you there?
Okay, so actually, I think you kind of already answered the question. So as you say, the traditional processes that are in place in traditional hotels, they are dated, and I would go further. I would say they are even almost dead already. Mm-hmm. What we believe in Sweet Inn, and that was the founding vision, that today's traveler, they were not looking just for a place to stay. They want to get an experience. They want to have things curated for them. They want to be free. They want choice. They want reactivity. And eventually, when you have all these questions and all these challenges in front of you, there's one only way to fit all these needs, and it's through a strong technology. And this is the reason why we decided to build our guest app.
Of course. So looking at the mobile element to it, which is again what we're kind of speaking out with this app that you're mentioning, I think the audience would really love to know the benefits from it because it is newer technology. Certainly, we've been developing it for a while. I know you've been developing it for a while, but in the industry itself, it is still fairly new. We're seeing lots of new options come on the market. Kiosks, for example, is something we're seeing more and more of. But why is mobile the right choice for what you're doing? And I'd love your opinion on why you think mobile is the right choice for the industry.
Well, again, I think the digital journey is, for us, the future of the industry. And, I guess everyone will agree with the statement that digital is the future way to approach the travel game. And for us, the only way to give the complete freedom and flexibility to a guest that I was mentioning just earlier, it's through mobile, because today everyone has a smartphone glued to a right hand. So from our app, our guests can book their stay, obviously, but they can also complete an online check-in with a passport scanning. They can communicate with the local teams. They can get local tips, order extra services, and they can even open the door of their home just by the tap of a finger. So on one point, it's a game changer for the guest. But on the other hand, it's also a game changer for our operation. The app is the smoothest interface to support every step of the guest journey in a centralized environment. So it gives us a lot of control. It gives us a lot of predictability. And therefore we are able to accommodate all these needs from the guests and do it very efficiently. So eventually that was the reason why we chose to develop this mobile application, because that was for us the only way to be in line with the needs of our guests.
So it's kind of that perfect balance of the best way for the guest to have an experience, but then at the same time, you're not losing anything. You're having even more data come your way, which helps you in all your efforts. It standardizes things, it digitizes everything. So you don't have to worry about these entry errors down the road with maybe the wrong passport number, the wrong name, things like that. But it's kind of like that perfect balance is what you're saying. I love that.
Absolutely. That was the vision is, not only it serves the purpose of making the guest journey better, it also serves the purpose of making our operations run smoother and reduce the mistakes and just be more efficient, which is
everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a number one top priority for every operator or everyone in the hospitality industry. It's you want to be efficient. You have hundreds of demands coming in your way every second of the day. You need to be efficient. You can't there's no room for error when you want to satisfy a guest.
Yeah, and enabling the team members, whether you're at a property or dealing in an office, enabling them to deal with the more pressing issues rather than trying to find where an error is somewhere down the line or dealing with, a check-in guest, things like that. You can really focus in on the core issues and the core tasks.
Absolutely.
Which is everything. Yeah, I love that. Absolutely. So we touched on that streamlined solution again, kind of coming back to what we're speaking about here. Thanks to the technology that you've adopted, it's really quite streamlined, and I love that. But I want to shine a light on that demand for this all-in-one solution, and you touched on this again, but it's what you use, it's what you offer your partners, is having that complete guest experience in an easy-to-use application, looking at all the contactless solutions now that's in high demand with, like you mentioned, the passport scanning, the document scanning for filling in legal requirements and government regulations. Having that all-in-one solution, is that the future of the industry? Is that where you see us going at every hotel we check in the future?
No doubt. And for us to be all-in-one, it's also a way to make the guest journey smoother and more user friendly. As a traveler, you and I, we know it's super frustrating to spend time completing a check-in procedure. When you book, a vacation rental, you need to upload some documents, then you need to complete the payment. There is something else for the deposit. Eventually, you can end up losing maybe half an hour just to plan your stay, and eventually work. You start to feel like you're working for the operator who you bought your stay from. Mm-hmm. It can be kind of irritating at some point. So now, once again, since we decided to build this all-in-one package with a guest experience that, it's been a few years now that we've been developing this, and in less than 3-4 minutes, everything is done. Everything is done through one interface. And once again, smoother is the journey on the guest side. It means it's also smoother for the operation team. And that means less complaints, better communication, and most importantly, as we said, peace of mind, I guess.
Yeah, that full traceability through the whole process. The fact that everything is accounted for because we're dealing with digital data. Everything is there at every process. So there is no, where's this file? Oh, I know I had that document you filled out somewhere. It's all there. It's all digital and 100% traceability.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's in massive demand, especially in this new era of travel where, there's obviously all these COVID precautions in place and all of this, but that traceability factor is going to be something that sticks, and that demand from the customer to have that. It's something that once that light switches, it never kind of goes back. We never see it go backwards. So I love that you're saying that that's the future. Certainly something I can relate to, having, God, it's been so long since I've traveled, but hopefully soon. but I can remember having to go through, a small agent, even when it was a vacation rental, and everything was fill out the form here, fill out, do this. And yeah, you're right. 30 minutes, an hour of just doing that before I even get in the room, when it doesn't need to be that way, which is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I would add on top of this that, unfortunately, the COVID crisis also brought up to the light a lot of, dangers for operators running these kind of businesses. So, we've seen, increasing numbers of fraudulent bookings, and the need for a security and a secure procedure for operators have never been so high. So again, having this kind of all-in-one solution with a lot of traceability, a lot of control, and a lot of peace of mind, and being able to be fully in control of your operation is something that is, incredibly powerful, and it's a game changer for any operator, especially nowadays where security and safety is at its highest of importance.
Yeah, and I think operators right now as well want to future-proof, so that in a year, in 2 years, they don't have to go and make more changes to their systems or what have you. They want to do something now that protects them in the future and set something in motion that is in line with where the industry is going, which is kind of exactly what you're offering, but what we need to see more of being used, big and small, in operators. So I love that. That's really great. Well, again, no, it's really inspiring to know that not only is this technology readily available for the industry as a whole, like we're saying, like it is there, it is ready off the shelf, ready to go, but it's proven to work. You've proven that it works. It really puts that focus back on the guest experience, as opposed to detracting from it, which I think maybe we've gotten this little spin cycle in the past decade of reusing the same processes that are dated, like you said, and possibly even dead, which is a nice way to put it, to be honest, because it's true. It needs to move past that. And we're at a point now where we have
I said almost dead. I didn't want to...
No drawing a hard line in the sand.
In the traditional hotels industry.
But, absolutely.
They're close.
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole Sweet Inn success story, like I mentioned before, it's just fantastic to know that this technology, it's really not only allowed you to stay alive during the past year, but you've flourished, you've thrived from it because of the technology you've adapted, Anyline included, in all of these solutions that you said, like you've properly addressed throughout the interview here. But I think that's a fair picture to say, right? It not only saved you, but it made you thrive to where you are now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Good. Well, before we bring this to a close, Romain, any last things you wanted to mention before we close out?
First, thank you for having me once again. It's been a great time and a great way to share with you and the audience our story. That I think I like to share the story. Last word would be stay tuned. We have tons of exciting new things currently under development, and a big focus on IoT on our technology, and we will unveil super exciting new features later this year. So yeah, stay tuned.
I love it. Stay tuned. No, I'm sure we'll definitely keep the audience in the loop. I certainly can't wait to see this solution develop, because it really feels like you guys are at a tipping point where you're just going to explode right now with all the innovation, because you have that really strong base. Like we spoke about, you developed it over the past year. It's really come to life. And it's just at the point now where it's just going to take off. So I really can't wait to see that. Best of luck. Certainly more collaborations from us in the future to come, of course. But like I said, best of luck in the future. Thank you so much for jumping on today. Really great to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. And always a pleasure.
Great. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
And for the audience watching, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully lots for you to take away. As always, of course, we want to make sure you get the best information available, but I think this one is particularly good for those in the industry that really want to take those next steps, or looking for how to take those next steps, and looking at an example with Sweet Inn, something that's proven successful, and like Romain has mentioned, they're really on the point of exploding into the future here with some new solutions coming available, but again, a really proven method to evolve your technology in your property. And bring it to life. So lots to take away. I hope you've learned a little bit of something. If you did have any questions about anything we spoke about today, please do not hesitate to get in touch with either myself or Romain. We'll put the LinkedIn description of this video, so you can go ahead and click on LinkedIn and get in touch with either of us there. Or of course, if you just want to chime into the conversation or ask questions, you can do so directly in the comments of this video. So we'll leave this episode right there. Again, thank you so much for watching. It's been great having you from wherever in the world you may be. And until our very next episode, as always, stay happy, stay healthy. I'll see you on the next episode of Anyline, Anytime.